All right. Is it going to be the cost control or the farce here? I don't mind the cost control, really. The farce here is technically better. Just go for this. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like the cost control is super good, but it's not considered to be one of the best. But maybe I need to stop worrying about what other people are say about it. In any case, I think we go for Fangs anyway, so we have a pretty similar pack either way. And I'm fairly sure that the Farseer pack is just better economic value. So, I don't know. But the extra 100 is good, especially if it's a short-term game, you get more economy from that. How do we position this? Probably like this. Good thing he's not going super aggro. He's very standard here. And the Sabers aren't going to do him too good against our units. I guess if we were going to go for Arclights, it would be good. Plus his Arclights aren't going to do that amazing either, since we didn't go for the Crawler. Overall, I think this is quite a good matchup for us. We almost clean them up with half of our army. So we get our favorite pack, which is the Storm with Fang. It's amazing chaff since it doesn't burn. I think we skip here. You could consider the extended range, but I don't know. I don't really want to click any buttons. We should also be going for that AP shell in the tech loadout, which we don't have. Phantom Ray or Phoenix? Phantom Ray is mainly for the fire. Phoenix is better overall. I think we do need to prepare. I mean, we do have these guys for chaff clear, right? So we could theoretically not go fire. I don't know if we want to put these here or split them up more evenly. Maybe here. Hopefully there's nothing on our flank. We went for the extended range, I see. Yeah, that's not good for our own storms, because they will get taken out, but good thing we have air units. The only problem is the chaff clear, and the problem is now the storms will counter our hounds for chaff clear, which makes us not really want to go into hounds for chaff clear. It makes me want to go back into the fire. I never invest in storms just because I feel like if we don't play it correctly, if it's not a long-term unit, if we sell out or something, we're gonna get in. It's gonna be a serious setback for us. He'll likely go for the fortress. We can go for the sandworm. However, yeah, the sandworm can be okay. We're expecting to see the marksman or fortress. The wraith is probably not great into the marksman. The wraith is pretty good otherwise. I think just go for the sandworm. The sandworm might be good later on as well. I think we can put it like near the front. It would be nice to get some chaff. It really would, but I think we continue to build our board of air units. Only problem is that this we don't really have anything in front. I guess our worm is going to be what's in front here. It's not great. This might be too forward. We might need it to be like here. Does go for the marksman. We could sell out of the, well, we don't want to sell out of this for the fire reason, but we almost could sell out of this if he wants to go for the beacon. At least we have something to distract the storms here. But he's building an awful lot of chaff. We don't really have any chaff there. Somehow our storms are doing a lot here. Looks like the worm was an excellent choice. Might even want to get a second one here. But I don't want to overplay the card. The super heavy armor I think is quite good. So is the barrier. I don't know how much we want to invest. The nano repair kit is amazing into the sandworm as well. This is very tough because I don't want to over invest in the sandworm. It could lose us the game. 250 is a lot. It's only level 1 right now. It'll probably level up to level 2, but still. It's kind of tough. Surprisingly, I may not even take anything. Might just skip here. Because it's too easy to beat a level 1 or level 2 sandworm, and the same counter also counters the same counter also counters the factory, so we don't want him to build melters. We could go for our fire now because we do need something for the fire. It's probably the cheapest option. It may not be the best, but in the short term, it's not bad. Even go for a second Phantom Ray. We don't need to sell a single thing. Of course, we might need to missile this, or just put a sacrificial Phantom Ray here. I think it's better to just missile it. Okay, so he's instantly into the Overlords. Hopefully we have enough to clear the chaff. We don't get any oil down here, which is a huge problem. But what the good thing is that we do have the phoenixes. As long as this Overlord doesn't level up too much, his item is going to be pretty useless. We might be able to end the game actually even now. But let's not do anything stupid. Okay, fire badgers are good, but it's a little redundant now. I think we start selling out of the Wraith. We might go for the... We might easily go for the... I think we just go for a factory here. Problem is, does the Overlord kill it? The other question is, can we get into the... we only have level 1 factory, I think. So are we able to get in time, pretty much? I think we can click armor, go for the beacon. It's either the speed or the... We're just hoping that this is going to be enough. So the speed or the range. I think we probably need the speed. And we can missile this again. Alright. So now is the question is this semi-desperate factory going to be enough? We do have chaff clear in the form of the... And what is our opponent saying now? Yeah, the only problem is we're kind of stuck in the fire. We're still moving forward a little bit. I think we get this tower. It's a very good beacon. I really like this new form of beacon. I want to see what the yeah. Yeah, we have to close out these games. We cannot let these guys that are, you know, in my opinion, much more well-rounded and better in late game, especially with the Overlords, start building more Overlords. And what would have happened, I think, if we didn't go for this strategy is, and I really like the way we played the Wraith here as well. It could have been a little bit further back. And the speed was probably a good idea. So what normally would happen here is we build more phoenixes for the Overlord. think that's all we should build. Like we have enough of the Phantom Rays, so we just build more Phoenixes. Perhaps Farseer. They do the same thing. They're like long distance, single target damage with minimal splash. And what would have happened is we would have gotten stuck on his sledges somehow. Like they would have just taken a couple shots, like two shots or more, and then the Overlord would have won. And then we probably, best case scenario, we win by just a tiny bit, but most likely we're going to lose by a fair amount. Then the next round he gets more boats. He puts attack on the sledges. He already has attack, but he continues and then it just snowballs from there. So I could already see the writing on the wall that I don't think, I don't think there's anything we really can do. I mean, you could say we could go for scorpions, but some reason I don't think the scorpions are going to be good. A little bit of chaff coming through, and it's just not good to spend your deployments. You have nothing for the overlords. So we'll just play it out, seeing what else we could have done. It's pretty nice that we were able to win in 5 rounds. And I really like our decision not to go for the item. Because I think with the item, we would have been like, we probably would have needed to get a tech on this Sandworm, maybe. So we get the item drop here. He goes for the boat. And I think even if you win, the Sandworm kind of gets countered by the boat, maybe. I mean, maybe with mechanical div, but it will go go level 2. You have the armor item. The it still dies to the factory. It's going to be hard to simulate because you can't get the item. But I just don't feel like this is I don't feel like it's doing enough. So I'm very happy that we the super heavy armor, or the item that he went for, the nano, it's a long-term item. It only makes value if you level up your unit. For example, if this was level 3, level 4, then any of those items would be like super OP. But at level 1, you're taking a huge risk, because if it gets shut down, and or even if it gets shut down at level 2, you might have to sell out of it, and you could just lose the game simply from that. So we're gonna see what we could have done if we didn't go for the factory all in. I'm not sure if the sledgehammer is good for us here. Like, the sledgehammer actually acts as, the wraith is probably not great. The sledgehammer acts as chaff pretty much for our phoenixes. So I don't know how far we put these guys up, but maybe we'll just match them. Okay, and now we know we're dealing with boats, so we can go for elite recruit Phoenix. I don't know if we need all 3, but probably. Range is not super important on the Phoenix. You could argue that charge shot is good. So it's probably better to do this, and I'm not sure about the speed. Probably needed to missile this. So we have chaff coming in here, which is unaccounted for. There's another pack of chaff here, but the fire comes down. The storm fire is 1,000 times better than the hound fire, because you could see it just creates new pockets of fire every time it fires. It almost feels like you don't even need the phantom rays. Of course, they're very good for the cost, and that's why we use them. All right, so this is what we would have done. And that was an amazing result. But I think the tanks, I'm not sure if we would have went for the tanks. Like, knowing myself, we never really go for tanks. So we probably would have went for something like this instead. And I just want to see how important the tanks are. So with the extra money, you'd think probably to tech the Probably detect these guys somehow. I mean, might just be range. And we'll just leave the missile just so we could simulate what happened last round, where and I think what happened last round is with the tanks, it kind of was a little bit better, the his crawler flank. However, the benefit that we have in this situation, and the reason why the Stormcrawler with Fang is the best setup right now, is that none of our chaff actually goes in. I think I think our Fangs are dead, but they didn't necessarily die from the fire. Whereas if we had crawlers, they would go straight into the fire. So this looks significantly worse, but it's still pretty decent. So I think there is an argument to keep some of the some of these sledges in front. You would say maybe fire badgers, but I think the fire badgers, there's already enough fire, so that right off the bat makes it seem not so good. And I mean, from the opponent's perspective, he would have to imagine, like, pretty much know that there was going to be a factory here. So I don't think there's much he could have done. So what we could also try is, like, because the factory all in is just so easy to play, and it seems to be a very effective move quite often. I like to keep it simple sometimes. And I just want to see if maybe if maybe we should have went for launcher overload instead. Are we going to be able to tank this? Okay, so probably let's beacon this like here and then like here. Let's not get too greedy with the beacon. In fact, it doesn't even need to be that high. It can just be like here. Just beacon it here and then just like here. Right. And we have the option of speed or range. I think we'll take speed, and I'm pretty sure we just missiled this before. So we'll see if this works better or if we actually need the armor. I went with the armor just to be safe because I didn't want this guy to just be randomly dying like in 2 seconds. You could see the HP is falling quite quickly. The only question is, does the launcher overload kind of get there in time? You know, because it does get to the does get there faster, but now we have the issue of the factory dying. So it's either a slower factory, but one that lives, or you just try to bum rush in. I'm pretty sure there's a scenario for every single situation. So fairly sure this didn't go as well as the armor factory. The other thing we can try is, like, what about sandworms with what about just the sandworms? Are we able to make something happen with sandworms? I really do want to have the tanks as well, but we kind of only have 2 Phoenix anyways. So if we have sandworms, I don't think it's armor that we need. I think it's Mechabellum. We can even go for an additional sandworm. So it's gonna be like Sandworm City. Let's make sure we have at least like one coming over here. This guy might go here and then over there. The positioning of the sandworm should be 3 to 4 squares above the phantom ray line. Still pretty bad here. We waste our first volley. At least we had a volley here. You can see we still have fangs. And I mean, okay, they do burn here, but they're still alive. And sometimes when the fire dissipates, like, they're still, they're still moving forward. So, you know what I mean? Like, this is absolutely crazy. And now it's tanking for the Overlord. Oof. So I think the opponent was in a pretty rough spot. We had to figure out how to beat him in 1 round, and we had to do 1400. I'm pretty glad that we went with what we went with. The last thing I want to try is I want to see how important actually those sledgehammers are. So we did a massive victory with just with level 2 phoenixes. We'll try the same thing there. Try to keep it as similar as possible. It's just that we have a useless unit now, the Wraith, which is not going to do anything. Might as well upgrade this. Maybe we'll try to missile this. Have the Wraith here. Go for range. Could try to go for charge shot, but it's probably not that good. You just do this. So let's see if this same setup works without the tank. Because the tanks are literally tanking for the Phoenix. It's just like him. He's got the tanks, which are tanking for his Overlord. And in fact, he should probably have gone for Launcher Overload. Because look at the range. He's got insane amounts of range. But he was thinking about maybe trying to win against a Phoenix battle. So he has more range than the Phoenix, but I don't know if that makes a difference. I think the concept should be more about, like, do we have, like, what does he have in front to tank? Right, he already has a huge back line to tank. This doesn't look that good, but as the tank line. For the same reason, we go tanks for the same reason that he goes tanks. It acts as a front line for the Phoenix backline, and his backline is these guys. So I think from his perspective, the tanks are good. The technology is probably good in the long run. If he's trying to just win this one round, it's questionable, because I mean 200 is not horrible. And I think he needs to go Launcher Overload first. Right, he's got the sell button. Can we get enough to... Okay, we can borrow, and can we sell something to get another one of these guys plus range? Do we sell out of the... I think we want to sell out of this. We can sell out of the arc light, right? But we're not going to be able to get temp range. Maybe it's not a huge deal, but why don't we try it like this? This makes a lot of sense. And we'll do the same beacon. So I think with Launcher Overload, we might actually be able to kill this, because it's 2 boats locked on. I mean, it's already half. Every single volley is like 20%. It's very close. It's extremely close. It's too close for comfort here. So the factory is a very very good play here, because it just bum rushes him to the point where it's very problematic. Now, if he thinks that we might go for this, like the tanks aren't actually doing any chaff value for him. Still do like the Launcher Overload, and we can kind of just put 2 here. Maybe we go for chaff. We have an arc light here. Could just put this in front. Right, we can missile this, but it's gonna be quite questionable. Like a missile here would be kind of cheating. You would know you could say that you're trying to get the Stormcrawler, which does make a lot of sense. You're not going to be able to necessarily missile the Stormcrawler in this situation. So I think if with this exact play, I think he wins hard. And we would have definitely gone for a shield, but we just didn't have the money. still lose the tower, even in the best case scenario here. So, just goes to show how far behind he was, and you know, it's because he went for this the Stormcrawler play, whereas we just went for the air. So, alright guys, well, glad to get that victory.